Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you after a large number of "Oh, what a noob!" We are what a noob! Oh my gosh, what a noob! They buy. They buy again. We got guys Armor Tech 9, we got the Mac 10s on the field. Next round, they lose again. 20. They buy. They buy. This guy's got a sawed off. Guys, you're not JW. Gotta learn how it works. Can't just say, oh, JW bot is cracking. Let's run out there and cracking some people. Cracking them on the face. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm so bad. Moments from my Matchmaking Academy series, it's clear we need to go over the early game buying mechanics one last time to clear it all up. We're going to be talking about what to buy in the first few rounds of Counter-Strike with an explanation as to why, along with examples from professional matches. First of all, Counter-Strike is a team-based game. This is not a game where you can play it how you want. This ain't no Fallout 3. This is more like Fallout 4. Ha! Topical! There are standards that are to be followed to maximize your team's potential. So even if you're in a pug, make sure you follow those standards. It's good for you, it's good for your team, and it reduces the rage. So don't be that guy. The guy who buys every single round, who does his own thing, who ignores his teammates, who used to play Call of Duty. I mean, the lone wolf. That guy is better off playing a non-team-based game, like Quake. You thought I was gonna say Call of Duty? Where he can live and die by his own arrogant disrespect for authority. Screw that guy. In Counter-Strike, your money is not your money. It's your team's money. For example, if you have a bit extra, you can purchase an op for your opper who will drop you a rifle. Be that guy, the team player. You buy as a team, you die as a team. But you also win as a team. So don't, just buy as a team. Before we go further, I made for you fine folks an economy sheet years ago for the economy tutorial, but this is like a rehashing of the updated metagame of the first part of that tutorial, as well as expanding on some of the more complex branching strategies for buying in the early game. This sheet shows you the money you get for each objective or round start, because you'll have to be doing these calculations on the fly in your head. You can print this out for reference if you want, until you memorize all of it. I've linked it in the description. Look at this, we got homework and a YouTube video. You having fun yet, kids? We're going to talk about this from the terrorist side, but most of this is applicable to the CT side as well. First round, you get 800. You're going to want to spend all of this on whatever equipment your team needs for the round. Armor no helmet is a great choice. You could also smoke flash if your team needs it for a strat, or even a pistol, which I don't personally do since the starting pistols are good enough for the first round, but some people like to buy a pistol. After the first round, if you win, it makes sense to buy up. You get more money for that victory than your enemies, so you get a distinct economic advantage. Make sure to get a helmet for this round, even if it costs a bunch. The helmet gives you a distinct advantage against eco or armor pistol players, but you can really buy weapons based on what position you're playing. Even the AK-47 on this round, if you really want to. The danger of buying an AK-47 is that the enemy team can steal it from you. The benefit of buying a submachine gun is the extra $300 kill reward you get for a frag with it, except for the P90, because that one's for noobs. Actually, the P90 makes sense as long as you think of it as a rifle and you're playing the close range positions. The big advantage is that you're not gonna have to upgrade it later. It still works on gun rounds, but still, I would only buy it on the CT side. Expect to go up against armored players with pistols on this round when making your decision. If you win again, that's 2 wins in a row T-side. The next round, the CTs are almost assuredly going to save. Look out for what they bought on round 2. Did they buy armor or pistols? If yes, assume that they're going to have no armor on round 3. Submachine guns are awesome for this round, so don't upgrade just yet. Wait till you think it's going to be a gun round before you upgrade. Now let's assume you lost the second round. The enemy managed to eco you, which happens. This puts us in an interesting scenario. It may seem natural to save, but the current metagame dictates you actually force buy against the enemy team. Think of it this way. The first team to win 2 rounds in a row
wins the early game. This is more common on the CT side though, so your teammates may actually decide to save this round. I could go over each of the individual numbers to prove my point that it makes sense to force buy, but that would bore you.
Nah, just kidding, I'm gonna do it anyway.
So the scenario is winning the first round and losing the second. Round 3, you'll get 1,400 for losing, added on to your kill reward and save money from 2. You'll get 800 extra per teammate if you get the bomb plant. Let's say you decide to save for the next round. You'll get 1,400 added to 1,900, giving you 3,300. This is not enough for a full buy on either CT or T side. It costs 3,700 for armor, helmet, and AK-47. Add the 800 to that, and you'll be able to buy on the T side. So if you get a bomb plant on that second round and still lose, it makes economic sense to save, then buy round 4. Otherwise, on either CT or T side, you'll have to save twice either way to buy on round 5. If you do it the way I suggested, buy up on round 3, and you still lose the round, you'll get 1,900 and 2,400 for those 2 rounds, which is 4,300, enough for a full buy.
So you see, ladies and gentlemen, it makes sense to keep force buying until one team wins 2 rounds in a row. That's your rule of thumb, which can make for some of the most fun and exciting early games. Game is more fun, and it makes mathematical sense. QED. You only have 15 seconds to make these decisions and buy, so you gotta go fast. Okay. So that's 1,400 added on to, 1,900, which means we should save this. No, what are you doing? Guys, no, don't do this. No, why would you buy that? No.
Since this is just the early game video, we won't go into this too much, but keep an eye on how much money you'll be getting the next round if you lose when deciding to eco. You can plan if you want to spend a little bit of extra money on an eco, knowing that if you lose, you'll still be able to buy the next round. This is where having your cheat sheet comes in, but over time you develop a sense for these things and you can quickly calculate it in your head. If you win the first 3 rounds as terrorist, the early game is over. Make sure to upgrade your weapons. Get AK-47s and an AWP if your team is going to use it. Think about when the enemy team is going to do a gun round. That's the round where the early game is officially over. Always look at it from the perspective of, if I was over there making decisions on what to buy, what would I be doing right now? If they followed the established meta, you'll be able to predict it. Otherwise, they'll still be at a disadvantage for buying stupid stuff. Now let's go over the scenario of losing the pistol round, which, by the way, is never good. Don't do that. It gives a big advantage to win the pistol round. On the T side, your decision depends on if you got a bomb plant, which gives extra money to each teammate, 800, which is considerable in the early game. If you get a bomb plant on the first round but lose the round, you'll be able to save fully on the second round and do a AK-47 armor buy on round 3, getting you into the mid game much quicker, expediting your team to the gun rounds. Some teams will decide to use that extra money to try and force buy on round 2, but this is much riskier. If you lose it, you've wasted the bomb plant. You'll have to save round 3 to gun on round 4, just like if you didn't get the bomb plant. Basically, if you lose it, you lose 2 rounds instead of saving, which is guaranteeing just 1 loss. It's up to your team if you want to make that risky play. Now let's say you don't get that bomb plant. It's time to do a deco or a Tech 9 armor rush or something like that. You could decide to go armor pistol, which is probably more common, or you could try to be really clever. Buy some smokes and flashes and figure out a way to plant the bomb so you can buy third round. But this way is a huge risk and requires a full team of communicating players. You pretty much have to prepare this strat beforehand, and it's map dependent. If you win your Tech 9 armor push, keep buying. As we talked about previously, the meta is for the other team to force buy at that point. If you don't win it, you can save a round and then buy up round 4 for the gun round. There's an alternate strategy you may want to consider as well. Instead of buying up fully on round 2 after a loss, you can instead purchase just pistols like the Deagle or the Tech 9. The money works out so that you can do this 2 rounds in a row. This gives you a smaller chance at winning 2 rounds instead of a larger chance at a single round and almost no chance at the other one. The choice is up to your team. All of these are very dependent upon a lot of factors, the map, how the other team is playing, how your team wants to play. It is all up to you guys. It's not like there's one good way you have to play every single time, but knowing all of these different options will help you decide what to buy, as well as predict what the other team is doing based on what you see. If nobody steps up to call or what to do economically, with the knowledge of this video, don't be afraid to suggest some things for the team, but be careful. There's a lot of that guys out there. Briefly touching on the CT side, we see a very similar metagame, so it doesn't make sense to go every little thing again. The big difference is that we don't have the bomb planting mechanic, and also the understanding that the CT rifles are more expensive and kits cost 400. You need to have at least 2 kits, I think, every single round. You want to make sure you have a kit like at each bomb site, so if that guy goes down, somebody else can pick it up to do the defuse. Also on CT side, you need to purchase smokes. They are a necessity in most positions. CT is more expensive and less effective, so you might need to make the more frugal choices, but you also get to decide the location of combat, so SMGs are more effective, as are shotguns. So on CT side, second round armor pistol still makes sense after a loss, unless you want to go the pistol purchase for 2 rounds path like we talked about before. Weapons like the CZ, the 5.7, the Deagle are powerful for these rounds. Above all, when considering economy, you buy as a team. It's always good to have one player designated to keep track of these sort of things, to call what the economic strategy will be, as long as every member of the team goes along with it. If you are that guy, the IGL, the caller, make sure to think about your decision before the start of the next rounds. You'll need to call as quickly as possible to give your guys enough time to buy. I can't count the number of times I've sat there until 5 seconds were left. The guy finally calls the call and you're just scrambling, you gotta get to your spot and everything. Try to be as quick as possible. So next time I see an audacious 3rd round Bison force buy with 3 players saving in a matchmaking academy demo, I'm calling you out on it big time. You have no excuses now. Oh man, you won't see it coming. You're gonna be like, whoa, my ecos, and I'm gonna be like, what a noob. Thanks for watching. I'm TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer. You know, it's actually a little bit impolite to call each other noobs, to bully one another. We need to work on our diversity and tolerance in this community in order to quell socio-political, eco-geonomic, racial tensions, and hug and hold hands. Counter-Strike is a safe space, you monster!